When is a peach and an eggplant an eggplant? Hi, I'm Marianne Thamm, a journalist and associate editor at the Daily Maverick. Legal Secretary Andiswa Mbenenge accused the head of the Eastern Cape Division, Judge President Mbenenge, 63, of sexually harassing her in a series of WhatsApps that were sent in 2021. Now, it took 3 years for this complaint to reach the tribunal. In June 2023, a preliminary judicial conduct committee found a prima facie case of gross judicial misconduct and recommended the appointment of this tribunal. The tribunal's chairperson is retired Judge Bernard Mwepe, who has made no secret of his need to fully understand this new language of texts and emojis and the subtexts of bananas and eggplants, dripping syringes and ripe peaches. This is important. Mwepe has not been shy about asking how this modern technology all works, and in so doing he's actually educated many of those watching these hearings, which are being live streamed on several platforms, and who are lay users like the rest of us and who need much educating. So at first Mwepe was of the opinion that the hearings should not be public because they would tarnish the image of the judiciary, but the opposite is actually true. Mbenenge's legal team of heavyweights, advocates Moses Kakani and Griffiths Madonsela, are old-style patriarchs who might view this entire matter as woke, but they're up against an equally pugnacious and formidable team, the evidence leader, Advocate Salome Skeepers, and Mbenenge's counsel, Advocate Nazreen Rajab Badlinda. Now, what's played out at the tribunal since it kicked off in January is actually a microcosm of the greater clash between the old and the new, including the law and language and culture itself. What's also been highlighted is the kind of professional conduct that is legislated and enforceable in the public and in the workplace in South Africa. Some of the women who have testified and appear to have thrown the old male guard include legal forensic linguist Dr. Zakira Dokrat, who testified that Mbenenge's use of a banana, a peach, eggplant, and the dripping syringe emojis actually had sexual connotations, and indicated that he'd wanted to be intimate with Mbenenge. This wasn't a discussion about vegetables, she said. The old boys had no idea who they were dealing with, and it seemed that they were startled to learn late into Dokrat's testimony that she speaks, reads, and understands isiXhosa. She'd made no attempt to show this off. Then the guys wanted to know her route to this legal forensic linguist qualification. Where did she get this qualification? What is it actually? You get the picture. Dokrat had nothing to prove and rattled off her illustrious academic career, which includes the goal of ensuring justice is attainable to speakers of all 12 languages in South Africa, maybe 13, including emojis. You might not know, but Mbenenge is the second most senior judge president and the sixth most senior judge in the judicial leadership in South Africa. Through his counsel, he's admitted to sending some of the messages and claims the relationship with Mbenenge had been consensual. However, he's denied sending her a picture of his penis or asking her for oral sex in his chambers. He took special leave and wasn't suspended as is customary as a result of this controversy. Why does it matter? Well, because this case, as tribunal evidence leader Advocate Salome Skeepers highlighted at the very start, is historic. It's the first major case of sexual harassment to reach the formal complaints process of the Judicial Services Commission. The advocacy project Judges Matter noted, if found guilty, Mbenenge might just be the third judge to face judicial impeachment in the history of South Africa. So, where do things stand now? On Monday, the 7th of July, Mbenenge addressed the tribunal, saying that he'd been called by the people to serve, and added that this was the story of his life. He was reflecting on the many challenges and setbacks he says he faced on his path to senior leadership in the judiciary. Now, the tribunal proceedings are still underway, and I'll be following them closely as they unfold. You can find all of my reporting on the Daily Maverick.